What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about the unfortunate news that GTA 6 has been delayed. It's a pretty big delay. It was, well, I think to many people, I don't want to even say some people, I think this was really a 50-50 type prediction. There was definitely kind of team no delay, and there was a team delay. And sadly, I actually put myself on team no delay. I really wanted to believe that this could be the time that they could be different and not push it. But with all that being said, I would say in terms of like worry or anything like that, zero. You know, this is really status quo from them. They always actually announce the game, and it always gets delayed around 6 or so months, which is exactly what happened here, and it's simply time to polish it, right? For a game like this is going to be such a big thing. It could be the last GTA game to come out on a disc, right? Getting day one, the game needs to be in the best state humanly possible. So if that's what it takes, if it takes 6 months and what they're doing in those 6 months is simply polish, that's what it's going to be. So let's look at the tweet, the now infamous tweet. Hi, everyone. Grand Theft Auto 6 will now release on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve. We want to thank you again for your patience and support. While the wait is a little longer, we are incredibly excited for players to experience the sprawling state of Leonida and a return to modern-day Vice City. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. I like the hi everyone thing, so I like the weird opening kind of statement there. Again, this is pretty much what many people had expected to happen. I don't think it's a huge shock. To be honest, it's really, I think the most exciting thing that happens now is two things. One, when do we see the game again? Because now you start to say, well, you probably would expect a trailer 3, right? But now May is not your end date. So showing it off in the next couple months probably is unrealistic at this point. Maybe you get a trailer around that time, maybe like April, May, June, and then, going into the summer and then into the fall is when they would really start to push this thing, right? So that's kind of number one, is like when we would see it again. Number two is I think how the industry reacts to it. So I do think the CEO said that he's incredibly confident that it'll nail this new date. Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure he said the exact same thing about the old date. He was incredibly confident there. So you have confidence there. I think their stock is down 9 or 10%. So they actually did take I think that would be noticeable or a big hit today. But, I think that makes sense. If you're expecting like $15 billion, no, I mean, in reality, okay, this thing is going to make so much money. You're going to get a couple billion in a day or 2 days or 3 days. If you're expecting those couple billion in May, and then now all of a sudden you're not getting it for 6 months, yeah, the stocks are going to kind of reflect that. So that market has kind of spoken. But what about the game industry? That's going to be interesting, because I think you're seeing a lot of this flooding of like February and March. There's a lot of games coming out in February and March, and I think they did that purposely to not be April or May. So what I think I would start to expect from like other developers, other publishers, is maybe some of those games to start to spread out. I think you got like Saros, Bond, and there was one other one. There's a couple late March games. I feel like you can kind of push one or two of them and kind of space it out. I think any game that was afraid of May and say you're going to get like 10 games in June, 10 games in April, I think now it starts to kind of even out. Right now you can actually fill out May. The thing is, November 19th, a Thursday, okay, cool. There's a lot of games that come out in the fall. I would argue, and I think statistically it would be proven, there's more games that come out between, say, September to November than come out March through June. Kind of that fourth quarter of the year is, in terms of sheer amount of video games, it is bigger than quarter two, I guess it would be. So I do wonder what happens now, because you got Wolverine, you got maybe Exodus going like an RPG route, you got Gears of War E-Day probably, right? Call of Duty historically, like if it was November 19th now, what would it affect? Well, it would really only affect, like, SpongeBob comes out this November, and COD. November actually this year is a whole lot more dead. September and October was flooded. December has Metroid and Marvel Cosmic Invasion, but November is actually pretty light except for Call of Duty. So I do wonder when it comes to next year, probably be the same thing, right? November 19th, that gives you enough time to really release your game anytime before. I think, I always say this, like the last games of the year kind of come out that first 2 weeks of December. There's not a lot of high impact games that come out after like December 12th through 15th. It just doesn't happen. I think next year it's over after GTA. I think GTA comes out November 19th. No game would dare come out the rest of November. And then December, you normally only get 1 or 2 anyway, and it still might be considered too close to GTA. Plus, you got Black Friday. Plus, you got the holidays. I think it actually, and we'll see. We'll see if I'm right, but I will kind of predict it now. I do wonder if it's like the last game of note. Yes, there'll be other games, but probably smaller, just smaller titles in general. But I think next year, you're going to see 10 plus games September, 10 plus games October, 10 plus games August, and then you're not going to see anything when it comes to probably at all in November, but maybe like COD the first week or two, and then you have GTA, and then I think nothing after GTA. So we'll see if I'm right there, but there you go. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.